Okay, so for this afternoon, we'll discuss the continuation of topic kanina, which is all about electrostatic forces in for charge. Okay, so this time we have a given for charge pa rin, but this time this is a rectangular shape with a different size. Okay, different sides or different length of the sides. So we have Q1 which is 29, Q2 is 7, Q3 is negative 96, then Q4 is negative 19. The distance between the Q1 and Q2 is 15 meters, as well as the distance with the Q3 and Q4 because it's parallel. Okay, then Q2 and Q4 is merong distance sa 10 meters, well as ganun din yung distance niyan doon sa Q1 and Q3, 10 meters din. So the main question here is the net force acting on Q1. So what will be the net force acting on that? Okay. So since our Q1 here is our point charge, meaning to say that we are calculating for electrostatic forces around the Q1. So we have the F21, F41, and F31. Okay. So first of all is to determine, kasi para dire-diretso na tayo, no? Kunin muna natin yung distance between the Q1 and Q4. Kasi we will calculate the F41. So we need a distance between Q1 and Q4. So who wants to solve for the distance between the Q1 and the Q4? Kailangan natin tong, ayan, yung distance na to. Yung blue line. Kailangan natin yan kunin. So who wants to solve? Using the Pythagorean theorem. Reka. Na. Sayang naman yung yellow mong ano.
Sir, sagot po agad.
Wow. Sagot na agad. Oh, what is the answer?
Ano po? 18.03.
Are you sure?
Opo.
Okay, so that is 18.03. So pakita lang natin kung paano na-calculate, no? So let's have the formula of the Pythagorean theorem to calculate the side of the Q1 and Q4. So we have the formula C is equals to the square root of A squared plus B squared. So we have the square root of 15 meters plus the square of 10 meters. Okay? So what is the square of 15? The square of 15 is, Kim?
225 meters squared po.
Okay, 225 meters squared. Then how about the 10? What is the square of 10? Belmis.
100 meters per
Okay, 100. If we will add all the sides, we have a total of 325, which is ang square root naman ng 325 is equal to John Lloyd.
18.03 po.
Okay, 18.03 katulad ng binanggit kanina ni Reka. So, nakuha na natin yung distance between the Q1 and Q4, which is 18.03. Next is calculate na natin yung electrostatic forces na yan. Okay? So who wants to solve for the electrostatic force? Let's have first the F21 followed by the F31, then F41. Okay. Calculating for the EF of F21, let's have Precious.
F21 po, yung formula po is K times the quantity of Q1, Q2 po over, ay, ano ba? Oh, Q1, Q2 over R squared po. Plus substitute po, magiging 9 times 10 raised to 9. Tapos 7 times 29 over 15 squared po. Yung sagot po is 8.12 times 10 raised to 9 Newton po.
Okay, so this one is our, thank you, Precious. This one is the F21, 8.12 times 10 raised to 9. Did you get the same? Okay, so how about the magnitude of F31? Who wants to solve? F31. Tawag tayo ng off-cam. F31. Arvin.
Sir.
Hmm.
F31 po. Tapos yung formula po, katulad ng po ng sa F21. Tapos 9 times 10 raised to 9. And M squared over G squared. Tapos 96C.
And then
96 times 29C over 15.
over
15 po. 15M squared.
Y15.
Ay. Wait lang sa siya. 21
31, ah.
po. 10.
Okay.
Wait lang. Kasi sa wait lang kasi.
Is the answer.
Two point 2.51
2.51
times 10
times 10
raised to 11.
raised to 11. Okay, so did you get the same? 2.51 times 10 raised to 11. All right, so this one is our, thank you Arvin, magnitude for F31. Pare-parehas ba tayo? Collab. Okay. Next, how about the magnitude of F41? Wait lang, burahin ko lang to. Okay, magnitude of F41. Sige. Janine.
F41 is equal to formula na K absolute value Q4 times Q1 over R squared is equal to 9 times 10 raised to 9 and M squared over C squared times 29C times 19C. 19C over 18.03 squared. Ang sagot ko is 1.53 times 10 raised to 10 Newton.
Okay, 1.53 times 10 raised to 10 Newton. Thank you, Janine. Did you get the same? Collab? Okay. So, nakuha na natin lahat ng magnitudes of our electrostatic forces. Meron na tayong F31, F21, and F41. Next, ano yung susunod natin gagawin? What is the next? Anong next? Anong next? What's next? Daryl.
Sir, ipa-plot po dun sa Cartesian plane.
Okay,
Kukunin
so-
ko yung angle.
Okay, correct. So, kunin natin yung mga directions no ng ating electrostatic force. Then, doon natin malalaman kung anong angle yung kukuhain natin. Okay. So, our point charge here is the Q1. So, lagay natin sa gitna si Q1. Okay, so this will be our Q1. Then, ito yung kanya Cartesian. Then originally ang square ang rectangle natin is nandito. So meron tayo ditong Q3. Then meron tayo ditong Q4 and meron tayo ditong Q2. Okay. So next is to determine the direction of each electrostatic forces. Number 1. Direction ni F21. So ito yung point charge natin. Ito lang yung titignan natin or lalagyan natin ng direction. Kim?
Going left po.
Okay, going left. So nakadito siya sa x component natin or sa x-axis. going left. So this will be our F21. Next, how about F31? F31 LG
Downwards po.
downward. So this will be F31. And lastly, F41. Saan direction ito? Yuri.
Downwards po, papakanan.
Okay, downwards, then pakanan, or yung Q1 natin is pupunta doon sa Q4. So, nandito yon. Okay, so this will be our F41. Okay, so next is to determine the X and Y components. So, ang X natin dito, or ang vector natin, X component is itong F21 natin kasi nakaplot na siya directly sa X-axis. Then, itong F31 naman natin is Y component na siya kasi nakaplot na siya directly dun sa Y-axis natin. So, kukuhaan natin ng X and Y components F41 since this one is a diagonal or a two-dimension vector. So, saan tayo kukuha ng angle? Along the X or along the Y? Saan tayo kukuha ng angle? Along the X or along the Y? Genre. Dalawa lang yung choice dyan. Choices. X or Y. Saan tayo kukuha ng angle? Pag sinabi nating X, dito tayo kukuha ng angle. Pag sinabi nating Y, dito. So, saan tayo kukuha ng angle? Genre. Natinig mo ba ako? Medyo lag yata ito. Sige. How about Cedric? Saan tayo kukuha? X or Y?
Along Y axis.
Along the y-axis, correct. So kukuhain natin yung angle natin along the y-axis. So dito tayo kukuha kasi ang vectors natin is magkakalapit dito sa part na ito. Okay, so iikot lang or mapaplat lang natin yung ating net force doon sa quadrant 3 at quadrant 4. Okay, unlike doon sa square na pwedeng saan pumatak kasi nandun lahat or pwedeng daanan ng vector. Okay, so kukunin natin tong angle na nandito. So paano natin ito i-calculate? Given that we all have a distance of 15 dito, then we have a 10 meters dito. So parallel, since that is a rectangle, so meron din tayong 15 dito, then meron tayo ditong 10. Okay, so paano natin kukunin yan? Yung angle dyan. How to calculate the angle? Michael. Anong gagamitin nating formula to calculate this? Yes. Formula to calculate the angle. O, paulit-ulit tayo dito eh. Dapat alam niyo na. Michael.
Sir, yung ano po ba yan, yung OBP over ADJ po?
Okay, correct. So the formula is yung angle natin is equals to arctan opposite over adjacent. So what will be our opposite side, Michael? Anong opposite natin dito? So ito yung angle na kukuhanin natin. Ano yung opposite niya? Is it the 10 or the 15?
Sir, yung ano po, yung 15 po. 10.
Okay. Ano ba?
Sir, yung 15 po.
Napa-okay ako doon sa 15 eh. Okay, sige. 15
Yung
over 10.
adjacent.
Okay. So, earn -1. So, 15 divided by 10 is 1.5. Then the final angle is Althea.
56.31 po.
Ilan?
56.31.
56.31 degrees. So, ito yung
Degrees.
angle natin dito. So, you have 56.31 degrees. So, as you will notice, kumuha tayo ng angle along the y-axis. So, meaning to say, in calculating our x, we will use sine. Then, for y, we will use cosine. Okay, balik na rin natin. Next, kunin na natin x and y component. Okay na tayo dito X and y components of F41. All right. So who wants to solve for the x and y component? So unahin muna natin x component ni F41. So we have the x component okay. So F41 x component, formula natin dyan is of course F41 sine then angle. What is the magnitude of F41? Ivan.
So ano po, 1.53 times 10 raised to 10 and sine 56.31 angle.
Sine 56. Then, final answer natin dito.
1.27 times 10 raised to 10.
Okay, so 1.27 times 10 raised to 10. Raised to 10 ba? Okay, raised to 10 Newton. Okay, next. Y component, F41. Cosine, then theta. So 1.53 times 10 raised to 10 cosine 56.31. Then what is the answer? Daryl.
8.49 times 10 raised to 9. And
8.49 times 10 raised to 9 Newton. Tama ba? Okay. So next is, nakuha na natin x and y component. Next, kunin na natin yung f net x and f net y using the other two vectors natin. Di ba? Meron pa tayo yung dalawang vectors. So pagsamahin na natin to calculate the f net x. Kasi, Ano pa ba yung isa nating x component doon sa dalawa nating vector? Alin doon yung x component? F, Reka.
Yung F21 po, sir.
Okay, F21 na ang magnitude is
Ano po, 8.12 times 10 raised to 9 Newton
Okay.
po.
Okay, so 8.12 times 10 raised to 9 Newton. Pagsamahin natin itong dalawa para makuha natin yung F net x. Okay? So F net x natin, unahin natin si F41. Si F41 in terms of x, what will be the direction? Kirby.
Sir, negative po.
Negative C,
F41.
F41 in terms of x.
F21 po pala, F21.
Okay, so si F41 is positive kasi to the right si F41, di ba? So meron tayo ditong positive na F41 while the F21 is papunta siya sa left, di ba? So this one is negative, so minus F21. Next, substitute lang natin. We have F41. F41 is 1.27 times 10 raised to 10 minus 8.12 times 10 raised to 9. Then what will be the final answer for F net x? Final answer F net x. Yes, Kim?
4.58 times 10 raised to 9n po.
4.58 times 10 raised to 9 newtons. Did you get the same? Okay, so this will be our F net x. Now for the F net y, meron pa tayong isang F net y, di ba? Which is yung natitirang vector na si F31. Magnitude is? Anong magnitude na F31? Micaela?
2.51 times 10 raised to 11.
2.51 times 10 raised to 11 newtons. Okay? So, kunin na natin F net y. Okay, so for F net y, in terms of y component, F41 is negative or positive?
Sir, yung Fnet, ay, nalaglag pala. F41 po ba or F31?
F41,
Positive po.
positive.
Ay, 41? Ay, ay, y pala. Downward, negative po.
Okay, so meron tayong negative na F41 kasi downward si F41 eh. So negative siya. While the F31, precious.
Negative din po, sir.
Okay, negative din si F31 kasi downward din yan. So minus F31. Next, substitute lang natin yan. So you have negative, asan na yun? Yun. Negative 8.49 times 10 raised to 9 minus natin sa 2.51 times 10 raised to 11. Then what will be the final answer? Janelle.
Negative 2.59 times 10 to the power of raised to 11 and po.
To the power of raised to 11. Powerful yung ano mo, exponent mo. Okay, so did you get the same 2.59 times 10 raised to 11? Sorry medyo maingay. Okay, so 2.59 times 10 raised to 11. Now, Based on our Fnet X and Fnet Y, saan quadrant to papatak? Irvin,
Sa quadrant 4 po.
quadrant number 4, correct. Kasi positive X, then negative Y. Okay. Next, burahin ko na to ha. Proceed tayo kay net force. Next, Fnet. Formula ni Fnet. Square root of the square of Fnet X plus Fnet Y. Okay. Who wants to solve? Okay, let's have Althea.
Substitute po muna yung given. Quantity 4.58 times 10 raised to 9 and quantity. Tapos 2.59 times 10 raised to 11 and quantities. Yung answer po dun sa 4.59 ay 2.10 times 10 raised to 19 and squared po. Tapos, plus 6.71 times 10 raised to 22 Newton po. Wait lang po. Ang sagot po ay square root of 6.71 times 10 raised to 22 Newton squared po.
Okay, next. Square root of 6.71.
Ang sagot po, ang final answer po ay 2.59 times 10 raised to 11 and
Okay. Thank you, Althea. Did you get the same? 2.59 times 10 raised to 11 newtons. Same answer ang nakuha po. Collab, same ba? Same? Okay. So, halos parehas lang siya ng magnitude ng Fnet Y, no? Pero wala nang problema yan. Okay, next is to determine the angle. Okay. Meron tayo ditong angle. So, formula lang naman natin doon is arctan Fy over Fx. Fy natin is 2.59 times 10 raised to 11 all over 4.58 times 10 raised to 9. Then we have arctan. Ano yung sagot dito? Presyo.
56.55 po. Kapag po tinan-shift na po siya, magiging 88.99 degree na po.
88.99
99 po.
degree. Okay. So that is our angle of the F-net. Next, plot natin. Tingnan natin kung saan na siya papatak. Okay, so ito yung ating Q1. Then meron tayo ditong F21. Meron tayo ditong F31. And meron din tayo ditong F41. Okay? So considering the Fnet X and Fnet Y, sa quadrant 4 siya papatak, di ba? Tama ba ako? Okay, so 88.99 degrees along the x-axis. So dikit ng konti siya dito sa may y natin. So we have the Fnet. Okay, then ito yung kanyang angle. So we have 88.99 degrees. Question. LG.
Sir, clear ko lang po ulit. Kapag po nagsasagot kami, lagi pong sa X po magbabase kapag po yung sa Fnet na vec ay na angle po.
Opo.
X.
X component tayo lagi. Okay, questions pa? Meron ba pa?